guys have had a lot of differing opinions about this. So a content creator's sudden ban on TikTok calls for more transparency from social media platforms. Now TikTok has been a game changer for content creators, giving them a platform to showcase their talents and connect with millions of people around the world. And it's a place where anyone can become famous overnight, literally. And for some, it's a gateway to a career in the entertainment industry. However, the platform is not without its flaws, and one content creator has recently felt the full force of its strict policies. Now, Basil, he is a comedy content creator with over 124 million likes on TikTok alone, and he recently spoke on the with Jabber podcast about his experience of losing his account with no explanation from the platform.
Which would just really surprise any content creator. So according to Basil, he reached out to someone in TikTok China's office who informed him that his account had been deleted, not banned. However, the reasons behind the deletion of his account are unclear, and Basil has heard conflicting stories as to why that is. So listeners of the podcast strongly sympathize with the comedian, especially considering the amount of time and effort he put into build up his following.
Yeah, and it's important to keep in mind that social media platforms like TikTok have strict guidelines and policies that users must adhere to. However, it's also important for platforms to communicate clearly with their users and provide a clear reason for any account deletions or bans. Because content creators put a lot of effort into building their online presence, and sudden account deletions can be devastating for them. And while the need for social media platforms to enforce their policies is clear, users also believe that it's important for such platforms to be transparent and provide clear reasons if they are, if their accounts are to be deleted or banned or suspended or whatever it may be. So in this case, what the content creator has said is quite on point. Like, he does not have an explanation from the platform as to like what happened to his account or why it happened. So it's just like a very, I feel, that it should be a very basic thing that platforms do. Like, if they are to take that step, inform exactly why.
Of course, and I won't speak for Basil, but I'll speak for content creators as a whole. And if you're not in the industry, you may not get it, but the time it takes to go into creating content, potentially it's someone's livelihood.
Yeah.
So if this is, I'm assuming this isn't just a kind of a one-time thing. Mm-hmm. This probably happens across the board. So, but what can happen? And I've actually known a friend of mine it happened to. She got a number, I'm assuming, of people flagging her account, and then they'll delete it without letting you know. And then it's like, well, as per our terms of use, which could be like 20, 30 things, you have violated our terms of use. There's probably one thing in there and like the public have called it out in some way. Yeah. So that is potentially what's happening. And then you have to, this wasn't TikTok, this is Instagram, but and then you have to kind of get in touch with them, fight to get it back, because this was her livelihood. Yeah. So that is what can happen, is that it has been flagged to violate their terms of use. And then that is the generic response they'll give to people. And then it's up to you to figure out how and then fight your case. But yeah, it's a pain.
I feel like not just for content creators, for like anyone on social media platforms, if your account is to be suspended or banned, you should know why. Like, what have I done wrong? So if you are back on the platform later, like, you should be careful as to not to repeat that behavior. Like, if you've been harassing someone, if you've been posting negative or hateful content, you should know exactly why. But then again, like, but
that's what the terms of use are there for. To understand,
but they should highlight like it's this that you have breached, like this point that you have breached, so it's clear to the person. If not, they'll just be like, oh, like they wouldn't really know, or you've used a third-party app for likes or whatever it is, like it should be clear, so they don't repeat that.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. Instagram, TikTok. It's a